Hey there, these are the rules we use to play draft racing on Summoner's Rift. The goal of the game is to be the first team to score 10 points. You get a point each time someone on your team dies in the enemy spawn point or the fountain. Like regular games of League of Legends, this game mode does have a general meta that most players adhere to. There are 3 roles in this meta, but you are not locked to a certain role. The general team composition consists of 2 runners, 2 defenders, and 1 roamer. Runners are slippery and or tanky champions that are excellent at sneaking around until the time is right to bolt for the goal. They're the ones that generally score most of the points for the team. Defenders are heavily damaging crowd control based champions that try to prevent runners from scoring using all means necessary. Roamers are champions that have a little of both the other roles. They roam the jungle escorting runners to the enemy base as well as picking off enemies found alone and vulnerable. Suggested items are: for runners, you want to start boots and wards, and then you build move speed, cooldown reduction if you're mobile, and tank items. For roamers, you want to start boots and wards, then build your best damage items. Luden's Echo is a great item on AP roamers like Nidalee, while Youmuu's Ghostblade or Black Cleaver are good choices on AD roamers like Rengar. For defenders, you want to start Spell Thief's Edge and a Pink Ward, then you build your best damage and crowd control items. If you're AP, you finish your Spell Thief's Edge into a Frost Queen's Claim, and then get cooldown reduction and damage. Frozen Mallet, Rylai's, and Morellonomicon are all very good on defenders. Once again, players are not locked into specific roles. If a runner sees an opportunity to defend, they're allowed to help defend, or if a defender sees an opportunity to score, they're allowed to take it, but keep in mind, Shutdown Goal is especially valuable in this game. Here are some rules for laning. You're generally not allowed to go through lanes, but you are allowed to go through lanes if you're entering and exiting your or an enemy's base, shown here, and only in these areas, or to switch sides of the jungle by running through only allied minions. Running through battling minions and running away from enemies into one of your towers is not allowed. And you are not allowed to hide in lane bushes. Some miscellaneous rules. Most global and semi-global teleports are banned, including Teleport Summoner Spell, Nocturne Ultimate, Shen Ultimate, Twisted Fate Ultimate, and Pantheon Ultimate. Rek'Sai Ultimate is allowed, as it's your responsibility playing against a Rek'Sai to clear tunnels. Snowballing items like Magi Soul Stealer and Sword of the Occult are both banned. Cleanse Summoner Spell, Quicksilver Sash, and Imperial Scepter are banned. Mikhail's Crucible and Banshee's Veil, however, are allowed. Pushing items like Banner of Command and ZZ Rock Portal are both not allowed. You should not be attempting to push minions into the enemy base in order to win. Guardian Angel is also not allowed. Other than that, you can build whatever you want. All death passives that restrict movement are allowed, such as Karthus and Zyra. Rebirths, like Anivia passive, Aatrox passive, Zillion Ultimate, and Zac passive, are allowed, and that champion can still score after the passive ends, since the champion is still considered alive during the passive state. Zac passive blocks can score. For instance, if Zac dies and one of his 4 blobs flies into the enemy base and the laser goes off, it's counted as a point. Sion and Kog'Maw passive cannot score, since they are already considered dead at the time of the passive. Mordekaiser Ghost cannot score, since it is still technically an allied teammate. Dubious but allowed ultimates include Kayle Ultimate, Poppy, Olaf, Tryndamere, Bard, Dr. Mundo, Fiora, Kalista, Kassadin, Mordekaiser, Rek'Sai, Sion, Vi, Zillion, and global damage ultimates like Ashe, Jinx, Draven, and Ezreal. Sion. As stated previously, Sion passive cannot score, as he is already considered dead in his passive state. He is, however, allowed to use his ultimate down the middle lane if the lane is pushed all the way to the enemy tower. Here's a few do's and don'ts. Do. Ward often. Vision is key in this mode. Being able to see an enemy coming will greatly increase your chances of being able to fend them off. If you're defending, you can always leave base and roam by warding your jungle. That way you can see if an enemy is on their way to your base, and you can usually recall in time. Do. Make use of teamwork. It is very easy for roamers and defenders to snowball out of control in this game. Work as a team to make sure you win any small skirmishes. Do. Make sure to keep your base towers protected. If your base tower is under attack, you are allowed to kill the minions responsible, however, you must stay on the steps. Leaving the steps to kill minions is against the rules, even if you are melee. Do use stealth effectively. towers gives true sight, vision of all units including stealth ones, for 1000 range. Make sure to not use stealth while in range of towers or it will be ineffective. Don't kill jungle creeps. To keep the game fair, killing any and all jungle camps, including Scuttle Crab, is forbidden. You are, however, allowed to attack or aggro a jungle monster. For instance, to build ferocity stacks on Drangar, to build passive stacks for Kench's W, and to get the monster to attack an enemy sitting nearby. Even in these cases, you are not allowed to fully kill jungle camps. Don't leech XP from lanes. Standing in a bush near battling minions gives you an unfair experience advantage. If you see that an area you're headed towards is near battling minions, either go through as quickly as possible, or don't go through at all. Don't run into an enemy tower. If you are running, be very careful you don't aggro enemy base towers on your way to score. It can very easily spell another unscored death for you. Don't turtle or stall indefinitely, or build a turtling team composition. The goal of the game is to score 10 points by dying 10 times on the enemy fountain, not to sit in base until you have enough kills to 1v5 the enemy team. This strategy is considered very BM, bad-mannered, and will easily get you blacklisted from further games. And finally, don't troll. Even if you are becoming bored or upset with the rules of the game, you should never intentionally break any of those rules. Doing so will instantly end the game with a loss going to the trolls team. You must instantly surrender, or if unable, for instance if you have at least 2 trolls, or if it's before 20 minutes, you must allow the winning team, the one without the trolls, to push and kill your nexus. Pushing against the winning team, or killing a winning team member at this point, will instantly put you on the blacklist, banning you from further games in our network. We do keep an actual ban list in case you were wondering. However, if you're fine with playing by these rules, on your mark, get set, go!